Today, I'm going to share with you something very important. This is 401k. I want you to understand that 401k, which is the system here in the United States, it is not a retirement account. It is just something was designed not for that particular purpose, though majority of us, and especially immigrant, think that that is a retirement account. In 1978, the Congress introduced the 401k system. We'll see the Revenue Act of 1978, which was introduced, replacing the so-called the pension system, came to destroy the dreams of many Americans. And immigrants who are coming here take longer time to know the financial systems, number one, but sometimes we think that the 401k can work along or similar to our systems in our countries. You are wrong. So we end up putting a lot of trust, a lot of money into the 401k, thinking that when I retire, I will find something. So this 401k is becoming the killer of joys, destroying the dreams of many people in America, and especially immigrants. So it is our responsibility to know in detail what is this plan, what are the things inside it, before you fully think that when I'm going to retire, after working so hard, working overtime, working 2 jobs, I'm going to have money at the end. But how did it start in the first place? So before it started, just like people think today it started by just one person. One person designed a system for his own company. That system later was adopted by the government and became 401k. But let's find out, first and foremost, if you work a lot to get your money, and especially we're talking about people who are W2 employee, working so hard to get your money, whether you work 2 jobs, whether you work overtime, whether you work 1 job or job in the business, you work so hard, you have your money. Where will you put that money to grow? That means at the time of retirement, to have a guarantee that I have certain amount of money. Because we all work so hard so that at the end of the day, I can reach a certain particular age and retire. Majority of people, they cannot retire because the money they think they had in their system, when the time comes to retire, that money is a small amount. They are surprised that the amount of money they thought they'll be having is not there, because they trusted and put all the money into 401k, thinking that the money will be there. But they didn't know how that plan operates. There are fees or management fees, investment fees, which are in 401k. And then apart from fees, there is just the market economy, how it operates, how it goes up and down is going to affect what you think you have at the end of the day. So it is better to understand this kind of thing so that you can find out, if I put the money there, how much should I put? And if I put in other plans, how much should I put? And which one will give me most of the guarantee? So in order to go into that detail, I'm going to point out 3 major ways of helping your money to grow. That means you work so hard, make money. Now you have your money. Where are you going to store your money to be able to grow? There are 3 ways. Number 1 is fixed. Number 2 is variable. Number 3 is indexed. The fixed way is the way you have a guarantee of a certain number of interest. You get a certain percentage of interest. But if you look at it, it is a very small number of percentage, which makes it the growth to be very, very small, which is 0.1 to 0.2%. So you don't get anything. That's why you have never received a letter from IRS, Internal Revenue Authority, asking to pay taxes on your checking account, for instance, or your saving account. Because if you make $10 and above as a profit, you'll be sent, the IRS will send you the letter. But because your money is put into fixed interest of 0.1, for instance, you are not going to get anything. The other way we call the variable. The variable, just like the name itself, it suggests the interest varies. That means there is no guarantee to be going up or certain number. It can go up, it can go down. And that is what we call variable. So you can see it can go, for instance, you can start with 500 year one. Year 4, you can have maybe 1,000 or 2,000. You can go down, go up to even 50,000. But if the market economy is shaken, it goes down. So you lose the money. So you can have 5,000, go to 2,000, go whatever amount of thousand, up and down, up and down. Yes, I know some people, they say, oh, I'm going to recover this amount. Well and good. But remember, you have already lost. Just have you seen those drunk people in Africa, for instance? He's so drunk, walk 10 steps, going back 80 steps. So technically, you have done 2 steps. So until you reach home, how many hours are you going to spend? This is what we are going to say the steps of the drunk person is a variable. You can go certain steps up and you can go down in that particular way. Another way is what we call the index. The index is a modification combination of the two, meaning there is the aspect of the fixed and there is aspect of the variable, meaning I'm not going to lose the money at all, just like in a fixed, but also I can get the high interest up to 15%, just like in a variable, but with the advantage of not losing. You see, we have this type of lock, meaning when the market goes up, you go up. When it falls down, you are not falling down. The account is locked. What does that mean? It means as follows. I'll give 2 different examples. The first example is just let's go to the people who are watching World Cup. So World Cup is playing. USA playing Canada. World Cup final or semi-final. You are going to bet if US beats Canada, I'm putting $1,000. I'm going to get $2,000. In case you win, that's well and good. You get 2,000. In case you lose your 1,000 initial investment. That is called variable. You put a bet, you lose the money. But the index side is this way. I'm putting the money for US to win against Canada. If US wins, I get the money, 2,000. If US loses, I'm going to keep my initial money, $1,000. I'm not losing. That's how it is. In the other word is this way. Just remember, back in the day, or even now, some of the countries, or in Africa, for instance, most of the big companies like banks, they have the automatic generator. So what does that generator do? If the electricity goes off, for whatever reason, within 30 seconds, the automatic generator turns on by itself so that they cannot lose any data, they cannot lose money, they cannot lose anything. So that system is what is here on the index. That when it starts locking down at any point, just looking down, it locks automatic. That is index system. So where do you want your money to put your money to grow? Obviously, you'll put money on the index account. But unfortunately, majority of us, we put money into the fixed account or get the fixed interest, and we put it in the variable. You might not know that the money you are putting, oh, I don't have the variable account. Yes, you have. If you have 401k, guess where the money is going to be put? The money is put into 401k. And the 401k, that one is going to be put into the 401k account, is going to be put into the stock market. The stock market goes up and down. While you are going to upset and go and ban the Elon Musk's Tesla, you are banning your own retirement. I remember I saw the governor of Minnesota, Tim was celebrating and even has a tracker to see how much stocks of Elon Musk is going down. He was putting on the public and just celebrating. People reminded him he didn't know That do you know, you as a governor, you are the one who made a signature, final decision where the state employees retirement, their 401k is going to be stored. Do you know you are the one who made that signature? Yes. Where did you put the money? You put into the Tesla stock market. And then you are celebrating the stock market, the stock for Tesla to go down. That means you are celebrating your state employees to lose money. That's how it is. Some people, they say, oh, but it's not bad, you're going to recover. Just like I say, these are the steps of the drunk person. You go 10 steps, you go 8 below, you go back, and then you have 2 steps. Yes, you can go, you can recover, but after how many years? But you have already lost a lot of chunk of time. You have lost a lot. So let's take this example again. People say, oh, even Buffett puts the money on the variable, on the stock. Oh, Elon Musk is putting the money here. There is no problem. There's no problem at all. But let's take another example. I'm working. My salary is, let's say, $5,000 per month. I got my salary. And now, the same example, US is playing against Canada. Will I put my 5,000, all my salary money? I don't care whether US plays with the smallest team in the world or Brazil playing with the smallest team in the world. I don't care. I'm not putting my $5,000 because I cannot afford it to lose $5,000. But I can put 5, I can put 10, I can put 15, I can put 20. Why? Because I can afford it to lose $10, $15 out of 5,000. So Warren Buffett, yes, most of his money is on the index. Or Elon Musk is $375 billion worth. So if he's going to put even 1 billion or 50 million, 100 million, 500 million, for Elon Musk is just like $10 for me. So even if Elon Musk loses money here, it's just a tiny small amount. He can afford it to lose 1 million. He can afford it 50 million, but I cannot afford it 5,000. So there is no problem of losing the money, but are you able to afford to lose that money? So the 401k was founded by the guy called Ted Benner. Later, this proposal, what he was using for his own company, he was later implemented or taken to the government. And in 1978, the Revenue Act, the new tax law, was created. But himself is upset with his own creation. He says, my creation turned to be a monster. So when he created this plan, it was not the monster. It turned to become a monster after some time. The 401k politically was a fluke. The original legislation was just 1.5 pages. Why is this why are you going to have this very important thing? You think this is a retirement for people, you are telling them is going to replace the pension, and you are going to put just 1.5 pages? It was enacted in 1978, became effective like a law officially operating in 1980. So it was 1.5 pages. Why are you having 1.5 pages? That is just like not even respecting the people. If now we have a plan, a proposal, a bill, just to remove the sugar, fake sugar into the Coca-Cola, it will be even at least 50 pages, not just 1.5 pages. If you look, the HR 13511, the Revenue Act of 1978, if you look at it, just 1.5 pages. That was the entire bill, turned to become a law. When it was created, it was never meant to be this way. Ted Benner started this one in his own company. In the original version, there will be $10 to $20 fee per year. But that fee was paid by who? The employer was paying that fee to get what we call the investment advice. Now we call it the management fee. But when I was helping the Fidelity and Vanguard So Teddy Bernard was consulted by these two major mutual fund companies. That's when they say they are not going to pay that amount. They are going to put that money to employees. So with the original plan, then change everything. Now the participants, the employee, will be the one paying that one. That's when the bigger companies get into it. And later, when it came to that one, became very, very crucial. So let's go and see, what does the government say about these fees? Are they telling the truth about these fees? Are they responsible to let us know that these are the fees we needed to know? They have to do, because they abide by the law. But the problem is, the employer are going to contribute. They tell you, go and apply, have 401k. They're not going to tell you there are some fees. They're not going to tell where the money is going to be stored. They're not telling you that the money is going to be into what we call the market economy. They're not telling you they're going to put in the variable in the stock. They're not going to tell you that at one point you might lose. Not just lose by going up and down, but you might lose based on the fees associated. So does the government know? Does the government tell us the truth? So let's go and see. This is the official document of the Department of Labor. If you go to the website, dol.gov website, there is a page called A Look at 401k Plan Fees. What are these fees are they talking about? So the government is letting us know that you must be careful. Before you get in anything, you have to go and look into these fees. More and more employees are investing in their future through 401k plans. Well and good. Employees who participate in 401k assume responsibility of their retirement income by contributing part of their salary, and in many instances, by directing their own investment. You are taking the responsibility of your own. If you direct your investments, you will need to consider the investment objectives, the risk and return characteristics, and the performance over time of each investment option you are going to make. And the government is coming here, says fees and expenses are the factors that will affect your investment returns and impact your retirement income. Who says that? Those words? Department of Labor. But are they going to post like a video and showing, like teaching people to school about this one? No. They're reminding you, be careful in any investment you're going to make under 401k, that fees and expenses are the major factors, are the one factors will affect your investment. And then the government is going to give a good example. What is that example? Why consider these fees before you put any plan? This is the government telling you. The government says, in a 401k plan, your account balance will determine the amount of the retirement income you receive from that particular plan. While contribution to your plan, to your account, and earnings on your investment will increase your retirement income, you must be careful that fees and expenses paid by your plan may substantially reduce the growth of your account, which in return, what is going to happen is going to reduce your retirement income. So you have to be careful that there are fees and expenses you are going to pay in that plan, and those fees and expenses, they are going to reduce your retirement income. And this, they say, the following demonstrate, this example is going to demonstrate how the fees and expenses are going to impact your account. This is an example. Assume that you are an employee with 35 years until retirement, and the current 401k balance, your account has 25,000. If returns on investment in your account over the next 35 years, averaging 7%, and the fees and expenses are going to reduce your returns just by 0.5%, your account balance will grow to just up to $227,000 at the retirement age, even if you are not going to add any contribution. So this is projection. It will have up to 227,000, but it's going to warn you now. If fees and expenses are just 1.5%, however, your account will grow not to 227,000, it will go just to 100 and guess what? 163,000. So instead of 227,000, you are going to have 163,000, meaning you are going to lose $64,000. And it says the 1% difference in fees and expenses will reduce your account balance by up to 28%. If the fees and expenses are just 1.5%, but what are the actual fees and expenses right now? 2.75%. It is 2% to 2.75% of your retirement, of your 401k. Whether you get a profit, whether you get loss, they don't care. The management fees are there. 2% to 2.7%. And this is government is telling you that. Be careful with these fees. So because you do not know, you think that, oh, this 401k is just like back in Africa, you put the money, I'm going to get a guarantee. Oh, is here, is going to get a guarantee. So by doing the money will keep growing, but you are going to lose certain amount, which is a chunky amount, up to 28%, just for that particular example, through fees and expenses. That we haven't come to see how much are you going to lose by other ways. That you lose by that way. But let's go and see. You see, the 401k is not a guarantee the money because there are so much money you are losing through what we call the fees and expenses. But let's go and see the other component I mentioned before about the issue of variable going up, going down, up and down. And again, you can say, oh, if it is up, I can take my money up and go and use it. You didn't know. That's why you needed to know. You cannot use that money until you are 59 and a half. If you take the money before, you are going to be penalized for that particular way. So if you are 35, you are 40, your money goes up, you are happy. But don't celebrate too early because you still have 25 years, 20, whatever, until you are 59 and a half to go and get the money. If you take it before, you are penalized and extra taxes are there. But apart from that, so let's see how people happened in 2008 with their 401k. They thought this is a retirement account. They were wrong.
The effects of the current economic crisis have touched everyone. Even if you still have a good job and a paid-up mortgage, chances are your monthly 401k statement will remind you that you've lost a good chunk of your savings. Trillions of dollars have evaporated from those accounts that have become the prime source of retirement funds for a majority of American workers, affecting their psyche and their future. If you're still young enough, there's time to rebuild and recover. But if you're in your 50s or 60s or beyond, the consequences can be dire. And it's drawing attention to the shortcomings of a retirement system that's jeopardized the financial security of tens of millions of people.
Let's go and see examples.
It was a gray, chilly morning in Midtown Manhattan, and a line of unemployed, mostly white-collar workers stretched for blocks around the Radisson Hotel. More than 1,000 middle managers, stockbrokers, consultants, secretaries, and receptionists had come here hoping to find a job.
If you are just arriving, please step this way.
Good morning.
It was called a career fair, but there was no merriment here, only a whiff of desperation.
Do you have any openings in the IT industry?
Many of these people had been out of work for months and burned through their liquid assets, their future even bleaker than the present. Alan Weir, who turned 60 this month, showed us his latest 401k statement, which he hadn't had the courage to open up.
I'm afraid.
You're going to open it now?
You want me to? Let's do it.
Let's see what
There's
happens.
good reason for his trepidation. Nearly half of his life savings have vanished in a matter of months.
It went down again.
So you can see it goes up to here. Then this is what you are going to lose the money. So you can say, why didn't he take the money from here? What if it was 55? You cannot take the money while it is here. You have to wait.
How much you down overall?
Oh, about $140,000.
He lost $140,000. That's a lot of moolah, a lot of money. You cannot retire after losing that amount of money.
Do you think you'll ever get it back?
I mean, I would probably never see it come back. I was looking to retire probably when I hit 62. I can't do it now. I'll probably be working until I'm at least 70.
I'm a Microsoft Office diva.
Until she lost her job, Kathleen Coleman had spent nearly 30 years working as an executive assistant on Wall Street. She doesn't have much to show for it.
Tell me about your 401k.
Does this answer the question?
Okay, see what happened. That's what I'm talking about, the variable. It goes up, boom, come back to even losing more than what she had before. So that's the type of bet. You lose. Yeah.
This is what it was in 2005, 2007. You're down below 2000.
See, it's very, very sad. You can ask your question. Why can't she take the money while it is here? She was not 59 and a half.
5.
Right. Another one went down almost $40,000.
Another one, 40,000. That's a lot to lose that one. Well, you are especially closer to your retirement.
One was
Right.
88,000, and then it went down to like 50.
How old are you?
54, and I live alone.
She's 54 years old. That's why she cannot just go and decide take the money away. Because there is restrictions on certain accounts. Why are you putting the money? Or if you depend on that, on things you cannot afford to lose. That's why I said Buffett can put the money, Gates can put the money on variable, but they put a smaller amount they can afford it to lose. The bigger chunk of what they cannot afford to lose, they go slow into the index account. They are not stupid. But let's give another example of what variable can happen. Some people can say, oh, that is something big happen, like we can predict it can happen. Let's go to see what happened in 2021. This was on Euro 2020. We know the famous Cristiano Ronaldo. It was in Euro 2020, though it was played in 2021. So here you see these are the main sponsors of the Euro. Coca-Cola. There are other Qatar, other companies there on the wall, but there is a bottle of water here, which doesn't have doesn't have the sponsor. See what Cristiano Ronaldo is going to do. If you look on the timestamp here, it is 17 seconds. The 17 seconds, Cristiano Ronaldo comes there, take the 2 bottles of Coca-Cola. Cristiano doesn't drink Coca-Cola, doesn't drink alcohol, whatever it is. Pure specimen, exercise machine, that guy. Took the bottles, put it away, and took the bottle of Coca-Cola, the water, up and say agua in Portuguese, which is also Spanish, which means water. So that 17 seconds, do you know the shock wave it happened in the stock market? Coca-Cola lost $4 billion at that right time, what Cristiano Ronaldo did. If you go to look, this is what happened. Cristiano Ronaldo's gestures cost Coca-Cola $4 billion. So by doing that one, Cristiano Ronaldo promoted drinking water over using Coca-Cola. The value of Coca-Cola fell in the region of $4 billion after Cristiano removed the bottles on the press conference. That moment, you can see what happened. Coca-Cola's shares dropped from $56.10 to $55.22 immediately after Ronaldo's gestures, meaning the company fell in value from 242 billion to 238 billion, losing over $4 billion. That's when it dropped. So you cannot say, "Oh, I'm waiting for that one." So even the previous, now there was the previous Euro. So what do they have to do? They know Cristiano Ronaldo is coming, so Coca-Cola didn't put the bottles on the table anymore. They put also the ads on just the wall because they cannot afford now to lose $4 billion. So if your money of 401k is on Coca-Cola, they put on Coca-Cola on that day. When they lose, your retirement, if you think that 401k is retirement, is going down too. That's how it is. So it's not like you have to wait until bigger things happen like those ones. There are smaller things can happen. One statement of a political leader can change everything. The behavior of a CEO can change the trajectory of the company and your retirement account, if you believe that is a retirement account. So what should you do then in that situation? That's why it is your responsibility to make sure that you know that you are not going to lose the money just by those kind of things. Consider the fees. The fees alone can make you lose a lot of money. And that we got the warning from the government. And we saw the examples of losing the money just because it is on the variable investment. You can ask me, what is the solution then? There are so many things you can do. Still, if your employer is giving you 401k, you have to take it because it's going to match, maybe it's going to put maybe 6%. Let employer put the 6%, put even at 1% or 0.1%, but the employer, whether he contributed or contribute, will put that amount. Then instead of focusing, injecting your money more into 401k, turn your money into the index account. Remember, I mentioned about the index account is the account which one doesn't lose the money. They have the automatic generator. When it's about to fall down, they lock your account. You are not going to lose the money. So you need to put your money in the index account. You need to put your money not only on the index account, into the account which gives you the compound interest. You might ask yourself, what is compound interest? That's a very good thing to ask yourself. I know we studied into mathematics, but nobody told us the compound interest and how it works into our own life. In order to do that, let's take a good example. I remember when I came here 17 years ago as immigrant, people told me about, oh, you need to have a good credit score. But when they told me about good credit score, they didn't tell me the fine print of the credit system of America. Just like many of us, on August 16, 2008, I arrived in the United States. By today, 17 years later, I'm here. There are things I wish I knew very, very early on, but not knowing those kind of things are costing me right now. I wish not only me, even people who are born here, they needed to know these kind of things. People do not know the compound interest, how it works, and how can you use it on your own advantage. So if you don't have the index account and you don't have compound interest, you are doomed. You are toasted already. So I want to give you just one of the good example of compound interest. Because when we come here, oh, you have good credit score, as immigrants, we think that, oh, now I have good credit score, I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to have a good house, getting a student loan. I'm going to get a good credit limit. I'm going to have auto loan. You think that credit card or good credit score equals to American dream. Credit score is not equal to American dream. You have to know that those score, yes, it is good, it helps you. You have to know that it can drastically going to ruin almost everything you have. Let's give an example. If you get a home loan, a mortgage, $500,000 mortgage. In that mortgage, let's say you start at the beginning of this year. And then you are going to pay that mortgage for 30 years with the interest of 7%. That makes you to pay $3,326 per month in the span of 30 years. The company doesn't tell you that in those 30 years, once you pay, you are going to pay back they're going to pay their $500,000. And in addition to that, you are going to pay $700,000 on top of that. In total, you are going to pay $1 million, 197 and change, making that one to $1.2 million. That's a lot. So when you're going to get the mortgage, they're not going to tell you, oh, they tell you, oh, you have just 5% interest, well, just 7%. You're going to pay this amount of money. They're not telling you in the 30 years you are going to pay extra 700,000 in addition to 500,000 of our money. If they tell you that away, they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you the compound interest in a simple language is a double interest on you. They're not telling you that. They tell you, oh, we are going to give interest of this amount. But we call the devil is on the detail on purpose. The fine print is telling you the interest we give you is a compound interest. So when you go and get the mortgage, when you finish paying, you double the amount. When you get the auto loan, the car loan, you get 50,000, you're going to pay 100,000. You get the mortgage, the school, the loan for student loan, going to school, college, that's going to happen. Credit card is 22 to 35% interest, compound interest. So you're going to pay double and double and double. So that's why Albert Einstein is reminding us, is telling us as follows, that you need to know and understand that there are 7 wonders in the world. But if there is 8 wonders, guess what number 8 will be? He says it will be understanding and the application of the compound interest. And he says, if you know the compound interest and go and use compound interest on your own advantage, you are going to be positively rewarded. You are going to benefit from it. But if you know but don't apply, or if you do not know the compound interest, guess what? You are becoming the victim. You are going to pay that compound interest. And this is what they exactly quote what he says about Einstein, that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't, guess what, pays it. So because you don't understand, you are going to pay it through mortgage, you are going to pay it through student loan, you are going to pay it through credit card, you're going to pay it through car loan or auto loan. And if you get any other loans from the banks, guess what? They're going to put it on compound interest. So it is your responsibility now to go and find out what account can I go and benefit from the compound interest. Because if you don't do that, guess what? You are going to become the victim. You have to go and find compound interest. That's why, just like God gives you the free will, you are given a free will to choose. Do you want to be a lion in Serengeti? Or do you want to be a gazelle in Serengeti? If you choose to become a lion in Serengeti, you have chosen to become the king of the jungle. But if you choose to become a gazelle in Serengeti, you have chosen to be eaten by a lion by leopard, by all these big five animals, they will eat you. So it is your responsibility to choose. Choose wisely. So by choosing wisely, it means you make a decision. Do I want to go to put my money into the account where I can go to a compound interest? If you don't do that, guess what? If you don't do that, those companies, they are going to get compound on you. So you have to make sure that you are going to get the compound interest. Become a lion. Find the opportunity for you also to eat someone. If you don't, you are going to be eaten. That's how it is. So I talked about the index account. It means you have to put your money in the index account, and you have to put the money not only index account. That index should make sure that it gives you compounding interest. Because if you don't get the compound interest, your money is not going to double in a normal way. That's how it's supposed to be, that way. Then, another aspect which is very, very crucial, it is, where are you going to get the account which doesn't, you don't pay taxes? We call 7702 account. You put money in 401k, there are so many taxes over there too. You have to put the money into account which doesn't give you compound interest. I mean, it gives you compound interest. It is index account. But also, that money is a tax-free account. I mentioned the concept of 7702. What is that account? That account, we say, it is an account which allows you, when you put money into that account, which is, let's say, on the life insurance policy, that policy, the premium you're going to pay, whether it's on monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, that premium you're paying is going to build cash, and that cash is a tax-free. You have to get a tax-free account. That's how you have to do. But we saw you work so hard, you put your money on 401k. Not only you lose the money by what? By fees. Not only lose the money by variation going up and down. Again, guess what? If you die, there is something called a probate court. What is the probate court? The money will be put into the probate, meaning all those accounts, including 401k, including your social security you are depending on, it can never be transferred direct to your family without putting into the probate court. That is something you have to know. As I said, Elon Musk doesn't wait for 401k. They have their own systems. That's why they put money into the insurance. People created their own annuity. Index annuity is a personal retirement. Annuity has the keyword index. You have to also be an index account, because I'm not into the mood of losing my money. I work so hard with this money. I'm not going to lose. So you have to make sure that you are going to succeed. You are going to win. If you don't do that, it's on you. Don't come here and start crying, oh, America is racist. There is systemic racism. You do not know the system. Racism is there everywhere. Back in Africa, there is tribalism, there is religious issues, there are rich and poor, there are injustice everywhere. Do you think when I die, I go to heaven, I meet Jesus, or I meet Mother Mary, will I be the same status with Mother Mary? If I meet St. Peter, will I be the same with St. Peter? No. Those are upper class. We know that. So play the game based on the rules. You know, these are the rules. What the rules are, rich people, Buffett, Gates, whatever, all these billionaires are doing, copy and paste. So the solution, they want to take you away. Have index account, have compound account, have an account which you can take money at any time. Don't wait until I'm 59 and a half or 65 to get Social Security. I put my money into index universal life, or I put my money into index annuity. I can take my money. Those are the things you have to think. But you know, because you started crying. No. This system, you are choosing yourself. You are choosing to be a gazelle, or you are choosing to become a lion. That's all. The choice is yours. There is nothing else you can do. Just make a decision. But for you, if I tell you, oh, there's something called life insurance. Oh, this is for people who are dead. When you die, who told you that? Let me give a quick story before I finish. They interviewed one time the CEO of Lamborghini. They asked him a question. Why are you not advertising Lamborghini on TV? Why are you not advertising Lamborghini on TV? Guess what was the answer? He said, people who are buying Lamborghini don't have time to watch TV. It's true. Do you think all the TV shows, all the advertisement on the TV, they are there because they are targeting Buffett? No. The 95% of population in America are middle income. So the TV show, the billboard, and every advertisement is for you. So when we talk about the insurance, for instance, which you can benefit while you are still alive, which you can get your money through withdrawal, loan, when you are terminal, you are sick. Those accounts, you can have cash benefits while you are still alive. They are not advertising for you, because the 95% of you are being advertised the issue about death. Just like me right now, if I'm going to Bank of America and Elon Musk going to the Bank of America, we're not going to stay on the same line. Why? Because the product for Elon Musk are not a product which are advertised on the line on the website of Bank of America. You can say, oh, we are all the same, blah, blah, blah. Let's give the quick example on that. If you go to the website of American Express, if you go to the website of American Express, you will see there are different credit cards. There is a platinum card, which is silver. There is gold card, American Express gold card, which is gold color. Then there is a blue preferred card. And then there are some of these mileage points cards, whatever, all those cards. In the entire website, in all those credit cards which are there, you will never see the card called the Black American Express card. This black card is not there. Why is the black card is not there? Because it's not for a customer like you or me. If I ask you, what is credit card? Oh, you know, credit card is a card you apply to the bank. They give you a limit, maybe 1,000, 2,000 limit, this amount you can use. You pay only monthly. You have built a credit score. Well and good. That definition and the understanding of the credit card is because you are poor like me. But when you go to millionaires and billionaires, the black card has no limit. That's number one. No limit. No limit means no limit. That means they can spend whatever they can do. There is no credit score on that. Are you able to pay back? That's what they need. Are you a millionaire? Are you a billionaire? That's what they are looking at. That's why it is not there. You are not applying for American Express black card. They are writing a special letter with actual signature, not this pre-approved brochure they are sending it to your home. No. And if you accept the invitation, you fill the form, you pay $10,000 to fill the black card American Express. And then from there, annual fee is $5,000. Let me give you just one example of a person who has not just American Express Black Card, but is similar to other companies, is using Trust Bank. So this guy, he bought a building.
You can't buy the Royal Trust building on a credit card. I had written one building, 65 million. I'd signed it. I said, could you please call for an authorization? And it was a gold Royal Trust credit card. They sent me my bill yesterday and I paid it and I brought it up to date. That's worth 1%. 1% is $650,000. And I said, and by the way, I don't know whether you know it or not, but on a gold Royal Trust credit card, you get a 1% discount. That's 1.3 million. He said.
So you see, he bought a building for 65 million using credit card. There's no limit. As long as he's able to pay, because they're billionaires, these people. So everything you know is about you being poor. But these rich people, they have ways on how they can do these kind of things. So when you are going to say, credit card is this one. So the advertisement about, this one, when you die, when they talk about insurance, because you are a poor person. There is another class. There is a black card for insurance, which is, you can read just this quick example. Just like this example, this book, it says, Money, Wealth, Life Insurance. How the wealth use life insurance as a tax-free personal bank to supercharge their saving. They are using this one to create their own bank, personal bank. At the back, it says as follows. Here is what you will discover if you read this book. How the wealth use this vehicle to create more wealthy, take less risk, and create predictable income down the road. Why banks and corporations place billions of dollars in this power vehicle. Did you know that the banks are putting the money, when you put the money, they're going to put into the what? Into life insurance. Did you know that? Let's go to the actual data. Banks rent by life insurance. These are the assets. When you put your money into Bank of America, this is for first quarter of 2025, end of March 31st, 2025. 24.3 billion Bank of America they put into life insurance. What insurance? We'll see. Morgan Chase Bank, 12.6. This one, they put billions over there. Why? Because they are putting the money where they're not going to lose the index account. They are putting the money there because they make sure that over there they're going to get double interest through compound interest. They put the money there because they know they can take the money at any time they want. They don't need to wait at a certain particular time. They put the money there because there is 7702 account, no tax. Do you think the government is so nice? The US government will go and tell you over 350 million people, Americans, that, there is this account. If you have this account, you are not going to pay taxes. Remember, the government depends on taxes. So they cannot work you up. That's why the education in America, from kindergarten to university, even PhD, they are not teaching you about the tax-free account. They're not teaching you about how can you have an account which you are going to have a property-free. No. You're going to start, even just a credit score, how to have the perfect credit score. They're not teaching in high school. Why? Because if you have very good credit score, the companies they're getting smaller interest. But if you have bad credit score, it's a gold mine for them. They're going to benefit. So this system is created for you to continue to be middle income because it's beneficial to the government, to the rich people. It is your responsibility to go and find different types of books, read and educate yourself. Read, educate yourself. Those are so many things you need to make sure that you understand them. So for instance, here, so another thing they say in this book, how you can create a self-predictable foundation to enhance every financial decision in your life, how to win with the taxes and have more efficient saving strategy. So this is one of the books. Myself, I created different books, but this one is English version. It says Smart Money Moves for Immigrants in America from Paycheck to Prosperity Without These Financial Mistakes. The simplified guide to navigate finances and retirement in America without the costly missteps. There is a Swahili version. Do you want to retire? You want to retire in America or in Africa? Follow this guidance. So there are so many other books that are coming up. So those are the things we have to make sure that you understand. So if you are not going to understand these kind of things, you're not going to take action, you are toasted. So in the last things I want you to do, make sure that you have a plan. A plan to have account, which is index account which has a compound interest, account which is a tax-free, account which also is free on a probate. That means it can when you die, in case it cannot be taken by the government until whatever. That is the type of account. You need to have your own personal retirement account. You can make it through index universal life, or you can make it through index annuity, quicker way. And this one you can start even for your child. Have you heard this is a trust fund baby, whatever those kind of saying. You can create what we call the $1 million baby. Just you can have a plan for $100, $200, and you can on a monthly basis. You have a child, they get now there'll be $2,500 from government tax child tax credit. Take some of that, put them on the account like this one. Yourself, whether you are just here today, as long as you are legally here, you can have these accounts. Even if you are 50, you have 60 already, have account, start with something. You don't need to wait until I have a lot of money. No, start whatever it is, even if it's $100 per month, $200 per month, $400 per month, whatever you have, start somewhere as soon as possible. Otherwise, you'll end up at the end of the day, oh, you know, my kids, they're upset with me, they don't want to help me. Why should they help you? It's your responsibility to help yourself. And especially when you're immigrant, don't expect the life of your children will be taken care of like you back in Africa. No. Back in Asia, no. This is a different ball game. You see people in nursing homes, elderly homes, whatever, or at home they bring other. Where do they get the money? They get the money through these plans. So those are the things I want to make sure that you understand. And for those people who want the free financial advice, free financial consultation, just go and fill the form. I have a form which is called the form is EBM Scholars. I'm going to put the form on the description, and that means you can be able to go and fill the form. So if you go to ebmscholars.com/finance, you can be able to fill that form, and then I can be able to come to help you to understand that kind of things. Or the other way, there are some people, they are looking for jobs. If you're in America and you want to know more about financial education, and yourself you want to have this knowledge and get paid, it depends. So I have two companies. One of the company is typical, it's called Beyond the American Dream. You can see this is the company. If you come here, you click careers, it will bring you careers. It can explain what is the job all about to become financial professional. Then you can come here and fill the form. So that's something you can be able to do that one. So if you fill the form here, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Or if you come here, you can fill the form to get a job with financial professional. You can come here, ebmscholars.com/financial professional. I'm going to put the link also on the description. You can get that one too. Or if you want just consultation, you go and fill the form, the ebmscholars.com/finance. That means you can fill the form, then I'll get back to you. It's a free financial education. There is no that you are going to get something like you have to buy something. No, you don't need to buy something. It's just for you to understand like all these kind of things. So, but I'll go specifically for your case to make sure you understand. And then from there, life can continue. You can have something for yourself. Make sure that you tag some people, share this video to so many people, forward it to any person in America. You know, they can have this education. It is a very good education. I spent 1 hour here so that you can be able to understand. Don't be like me to come to know these kind of things very, very late. The earlier you know, or if you know now, you can be able to succeed. So thank you so much. I really appreciate for your contribution, for your support. But go right now and fill this form, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bye-bye.